Hello, welcome to another edition of DBE TV News. You can watch this bulletin on the DBE TV News YouTube channel, the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel, and on OpenView channel 122. I am Tsehohacho Moahi. In our top stories, Minister Gwahube sets the record straight on budget constraints affecting the sector. South Africans urged to read to and with their children this World Book Week. Learning and Listening Tour kicks off in the Eastern Cape. And DBE officials brief the Portfolio Committee on Inclusive Education. The Minister of Basic Education, Siviwe Gwahube, says she is determined to ensure the budget cuts effected by National Treasury do not affect learning and teaching. Resources essential to maintaining the quality of education for the learners are some of the challenges facing the sector. On Friday, 6 September, Gwahube convened an urgent meeting with the Council of Education Ministers and said she engaged all provincial MECs where it was agreed that each province will undertake an analysis of the specific impact in their jurisdiction and report back to a special CEM meeting. Gwahube is expected to then meet Minister of Finance and Treasury to table the findings and work toward a solution that safeguards the future of learners in South Africa. National Book Week takes place each year in South Africa from 5 to 11 September, with International Literacy Day celebrated on the 8th of the month. To mark the start of this significant week, Minister Siviwe Gwahube read to learners at Inkwekwezi Educare in Inyanga in the Western Cape. She said as reading is one of the priorities of the 7th administration over the next 5 years, also to enhance literacy and numeracy across all levels of foundational schooling. National Book Week is an important initiative to encourage the nation to value reading as a fun and pleasurable activity. Gwahube has urged parents and guardians to read with and to their children, to donate or share books, purchase new books for those in need, or visit their local library with young children to introduce them to a culture of borrowing and reading books from a library. Moving over to the Eastern Cape, where Gwahube emphasized the importance of improving the literacy levels throughout the country as she kicked off her learning and listening tour in the province. She was joined by Director General Matanzima Mweli and the province's MEC, Fundile Kade. This tour is part of the Minister's nationwide initiative to gain a deeper understanding of the sector across all 9 provinces, with a particular focus on identifying the unique challenges, opportunities, ambitions, and priorities that each provincial education sector faces.
Going into Literacy Month and having heard, for instance, the presentation from the province, it is so encouraging to start to see that the sector is singing in unison. I think before there were multiple messages, and now the sector is clear. We've got to improve literacy in order to unlock and essentially unlock the potential of the learners in our system, in order to make sure that our learners are one day able to leave the sector and leave the system with a quality product in their hand of that matric result, so that it can mean something. And so as we're in Literacy Month, we're going to be doing a lot to talk about and promote what it is that we're doing. I mean, for instance, the Eastern Cape, it is a success story when it comes to that, in that they have systemically over the past 5 years improved their matric results. And that's a good story to tell. They've got a big ambitious task of reaching 85% this year of their matric pass rate, but it speaks to a province that understands that literacy, which is an all-encompassing concept. Literacy is the only way to pull people out of poverty. And so that is going to be our task this year and obviously in years to come, to promote our literacy programs so that we can make sure that our learners are leaving school far more equipped than they have before.
She went on to highlight other priorities for the 7th administration, which includes early childhood development.
And of course, we've got this mammoth task. Ms. Gare will tell you about access to ECD and the universalization of ECD. We've got to get that right. It may seem daunting. Sometimes I speak to people in the sector and they say, Why did you allow yourselves to be snookered into taking ECD on? The reality is that if we don't get that right, we're not going to get the literacy rates that we want and the quality of the education that we want right. Because we've got to look at the system in a systemic way. You can't simply say we are obsessing upon matric results, but we don't care about how and when kids start to read and read for meaning. If you do that, then you are simply looking at the cosmetic issues and not at the causes of who you are. And that's why, for me, it's an exciting thing. It's daunting and it's a challenge to get ECD in the sector. But believe me, I think it's going to improve in 5-10 years from now, that we're going to see the improvement of looking at a system-wide intervention like that.
MEC Fundile Kade, in his presentation, also spoke about how the department is always reviewing the strategies in the province.
Basically, as a province, there is an ongoing of renewal of the strategies and also renewal of the operational plans. We were presenting the APPs in the recent weeks to the provincial legislature on what should be the attitude of the people of the province, and then the allocation of the budget to achieve such objectives. But key to the task ahead of us now is on how do we stabilize quicker than ever before, because Minister is correct. Once you have got threats of security in the public service in general, you run a risk of a public service that is underperforming, whether by design or by fault. So it is going to be key that we don't take our eyes off the ball in terms of the safety of the schools on the basis that is not our mandate, because it has got dire effects in terms of the projects and the assignment that the minister has been given by the people of this country.
Officials from the Department of Basic Education have assured Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Basic Education that significant progress has been made in the implementation of inclusive education. Minister Siviwe Kwagube, Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule, and the Director General Matanzima Mweli were in attendance to elaborate on the work done. The Director for Inclusive Education, Jabulani Ngcobo, told the committee that inclusive education offered a mechanism through which the basic education sector could achieve the long-lasting, vastly better development prospects for all children, especially those with disabilities. He said significant progress had been made in ensuring that children with disabilities can enjoy uninhibited access to the right to basic education. He added that more special needs schools had been built over the years. Dr. Mhaule said the department was in the process of reviewing Education White Paper 6 to strengthen the provision of services to learners with special needs. The department continues to emphasize the need for elaborate collaborative efforts, with the DG adding that all new schools built in the last 10 years included facilities that catered for learners with special needs. Stay tuned. When we return, we find out more about Gauteng's first multi-certification skills program mini festival.
Hello everybody, my name is Siviwe Kwagube, the Minister of Basic Education. Now, October is a very special month in our calendar in the Education Department, because it is a month where we get to honor and celebrate our educators, because of course they are the very backbone of our education system, and that's why I'm so excited to be launching this particular campaign today called My Teacher. Do you have a teacher that has made a long-lasting impact in your life, that has impacted you in really tremendous ways, that goes far beyond the call of duty? Then this is for you, and participating is relatively easy. Fill in your details in the link that has been provided with your teachers' names and where and which school they are at. Record a 60-second video of yourself, upload it on any of our social media platforms. Tag the department, tag myself, but make sure that you use the hashtag #MyTeacher. The competition closes on the 20th of September. You and your teacher could win amazing prizes, including 25,000 Rand at the National Teaching Awards on the October 5th. So please, nominate your teacher. Let us show our teachers some love. Let's show our educators that we appreciate the work that they do.
Basic Education Minister Siphiwe Gwagube says it is important for the country to have well-rounded learners who excel in the classroom and or on the sports field. She was speaking following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Gayton McKenzie, to strengthen the implementation of sports, arts and culture and other co-curricular activities in all public schools across the country.
I'm here today with my colleague, the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, and this afternoon we have signed a historic Memorandum of Understanding between the two departments where we want to reinvigorate school sport and culture in our schools. And what we are saying to the Minister is that there are 13.5 million learners in our schools, and they are all worthy of an opportunity to be given an opportunity to have sports available in their schools. So whether you're from Qwaqwa or Qumbu or Santon, we want you to have the same amount of opportunities to play sport, to be involved in culture.
Meanwhile, McKenzie says this is a step in the right direction to ensure learners are offered activities that will keep them in school.
Hey, this is an historic day. You know, I want to thank the Minister for how fast she was in making sure we signed this historic agreement today. So what we want to do, we want to change this thing when you are a privileged child, then you get all the equipment, all the opportunities. We are bringing back school sport in arts, in culture, in the school. And we want to make sure that our children, that finances are not the reason, lack of finances are not the reason why they don't become Olympians. We want to make sure that our children get the same opportunities, whether they're in Mount Frere or whether they're in Sandhurst, they should get the same opportunities. And this today is the start of that.
Now, staying with the story, Limpopo Education MEC Mabungu Lerule Ramakanya and her counterpart, MEC for Sport, Arts and Culture, Jerry Maseko, also signed a similar memorandum. The MOU aims at delivering a sustainable integrated plan to provide school learners opportunity to take part in organized school sport programs throughout an accessible and implementable school system. Now, the Gauteng Department of Education hosted its first multi-certification skills program mini festival, which is designed to equip every learner in the province with critical and practical skills throughout their schooling journey. Beyond earning a national senior certificate, the learners will accumulate a minimum of 1 accredited skill per academic year from grade R to 12, resulting in a few skill certifications by the time they complete their basic education. Learners from different schools representing all phases attended the festival and presented their projects. Education MEC Matume Chilwane says the program is a transformative initiative that empowers learners with the tools and knowledge they need to thrive in the modern world. Meanwhile, Mpumalanga Education MEC Kathy Dlamini has urged learners and the community of Nzuza Maboko Secondary School to take care of the new state-of-the-art laboratory. She was speaking during the official handover of the lab, sponsored by Ndamase Printing Solutions, and is equipped with modern scientific equipment. It is expected to provide learners with a stimulating learning environment where they can conduct hands-on experiments, develop critical thinking skills, and explore the wonders of science. That's how we end this bulletin on the DBE TV News YouTube channel, the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel, and on OpenView channel 122. Do remember to send through your stories or comments by contacting us on our X page handle at DBE TV News and on Facebook, DBE TV News. Before we go, the exam season is upon us. If you are in matric, put your head down and study as much as you can. Prepare well for your exams. Thank you for watching.